Tim's gone. So it's Friday of week 4 of him being away at training. Eyes look really blue today. It's really windy today. I'm actually on my way eventually to work, but before work I am going to meet with an insurance agency. Woohoo! We're trying to decide who we want to go with for home insurance. We've never had homeowners insurance, so this is different. We've had rentals insurance, but you know, it's a little bit more important, I would say. Anyway, sorry, got a little distracted. Let's see, what am I trying to say? So yes, week 4, it's the end of the week, it's Friday. This week was crazy and probably a week I'm never going to forget, but nonetheless, I will document it. Last week, I know I mentioned that Noah had an ear infection and he got put on medicine and everything. And then, so it was Monday that he started his antibiotic. Well then, this Monday, he woke up and I noticed he had a little bit of a rash kind of like by his inner thigh, like where his diaper would probably rub, just on one leg. And I was like, oh, that's weird, maybe he got a couple chicker bites yesterday or something. And then after like breakfast or something, I went to change him again and I went to put him in actual clothes for the day. He had a rash on his arm too, and it was like, what in the world's going on? It was starting to spread. So I didn't think much of it. I put him down for a nap. And then after his nap, or when he was napping, I called the nurses at his doctor's office, kind of let him know what was going on. And they're like, okay, well, and then he woke up while I was on the phone with him. And I said, you know what, let me go check on him real quick and just see how he's looking while I have you. And I got up from his nap, and sure enough, it had spread. And he was itching his stomach now because it was on his belly now. And I was like, okay, so I really would prefer to bring him in, because they were saying if it's not itchy and it doesn't seem to be spreading, then don't worry about it. Well, so I took him in, and by that time it was on his back, it was on his legs, it was on his arms, it was crazy, it was everywhere. So I thought everywhere. So they said at that point they thought he may be having an allergic reaction to the amoxicillin that he was on. So they had to stop that completely, and then, you know, just to make sure that it wasn't, if it was that, we weren't causing any more harm. Well, by that night, I should say, it was everywhere. It was on his, all over his face now, on his eyebrow, and it continued to get worse probably until, I would say, Wednesday evening is when it stopped finally spreading. But we did end up taking him back on Wednesday, and they actually think it might be more of a viral rash instead of an allergic reaction, just because of the way that it looked. It was kind of like, almost like, not circular, but like it had like an outer red part to each part, and then it was kind of white in the inside, like his skin. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. But anyways, I still think it might have been an allergic reaction, and I'm really going to be weary about giving him amoxicillin in the future. I'll probably ask them to give him something else. But that was like the scariest thing I've been through with him so far, just because once his face started swelling, I started getting so nervous about his throat like closing up, and I couldn't even sleep Tuesday night. It was so bad, because that was the worst night, I'd probably say. But it was even like rash underneath his chin, like, you know, on his actual throat, but not inside of his mouth. But I was just a mess. And of course, you know, my husband's gone, so I'm dealing with this on my own with my parents. But you know what I mean, like, your other half, the other parent of your child, is not there. And I felt bad for him too, because he, you know, is 2 hours away and he can't be there for his son, and he was terrified of the pictures I was sending him of him. But all in all, he was fine. He was happy throughout this whole week. Like, even when at his worst rash time, he was a happy camper. He was a happy dude, doing all the normal things that he normally does. So I'm just glad he wasn't terribly itchy, any more itchy than he was, and I'm happy that he wasn't, you know, in pain. So that's done. Today is Friday, like I said, like for the third time probably, but he's pretty much 100% clear. But I still feel like when he gets hot, like today when he's gotten warm, or like when he's gotten upset when it was time for nap, it kind of started like to surface a little bit, and I was like, oh no, please don't come back. But anyways, I'm taking him to work with me today since it's pretty much gone. And it wasn't contagious, but the fact that, you know, it was all over his face, it was head to toe. Like, I know that if I was a parent bringing my kid into daycare and I saw another kid with that, I'd probably be freaking out a little bit, not gonna lie. So I just kept him home on Wednesday when I went to work. So I'm just glad he's okay. I'm telling you, this motherhood thing, it is not for the faint of heart. It's so worth it, but you worry so much about your little baby that, you know, because you can't control everything. You don't have control over, you know, their health and their safety. I mean, to a point you do, but, you know, ultimately, if he's going to get a rash, he's going to get a rash. If he's going to get an ear infection, he's going to get an ear infection. I can't, you know, control that. So, all in all, what we learned from it is that he may be allergic to it, but he may not. But they did suggest and offer to have him sent to get allergy testing after he's a year old. So I really think I might do that. I know that, you know, a lot of people don't do anything more invasive than they have to with their kids, but because of my husband's severe allergies that he has to food and everything in the world, pretty much, just kidding, but like outdoors, he's allergic to everything under the sun. And he does have food allergies, but when he was littler, he was allergic to almost every main food group you could think of. So I think I'm going to have him tested probably at the end of the summer or beginning of fall, once he's a little over a year old, and just to rule out anything that we can maybe avoid, especially since, you know, my husband is allergic to a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We have officially finished a whole month of my husband being at training, and it doesn't seem like we've been in Kansas for a month. It's crazy. Like, him being gone during the week surprisingly makes things go by really quickly, so I am thankful for that. But I am happy that he gets to come home on the weekends, and it's Easter this weekend, so we're going to be doing some extra family things this weekend with my dad's side of the family, so that'll be fun. But I'm excited. Noah's first Easter. It's going to be exciting. Get him all dressed up in a cute little outfit, which I'll probably post at least one picture on Instagram. So by the time you guys see this, I know it's going to be way past Easter, but I'm happy to document kind of like what's been going on in our life each week, just especially with Noah being sick, just different random things in our life. It's kind of neat just to document like when it happened and kind of how I was feeling at the time. Sorry, that would be my GPS. Anyways, that's all I was going to update you guys on. I will be back for another update in the following week, and hopefully I'll get a couple reviews done that I'm needing to do with a couple products. So I will be back one way or the other though. So talk to you guys later. Bye. Yeah. Shut up. And 1, and 2, and 3.